So each of the strategy guides have 5 distinct sections. The first section, we're going to be defining our audience. We're going to be talking about who we want to work with, the buyers, the sellers, and everyone else in between for 2024. Section number 2 is all about suggestions of when to post, how often to post, what to post on all of the various platforms. Section number 3, we're going to be talking about some of the ideas, kind of like an ideas bank that you as a real estate agent can use in all of your content going forward. And remember, a lot of this is video based, but you can take the idea and stretch it into whatever way you want. Whether you want to use Canva to create some graphics, or you want to just do some quick social media videos, maybe even long form video content for YouTube. The choice is up to you. We're just giving you some of the ideas to jump off from. Section number 4. This is a comprehensive video plan. This is going to go through all of the stages that I go through with all of my new clientele to discuss what their needs are for their videography. Are they going to be doing it themselves? What type of equipment do they use? Do they need our help? Do we bring the professional cameras out there? What types of content are we going to be talking about? What are some of the things that are going to resonate with their consumers? All of those things are in the comprehensive video plan. The 4th section is the largest section in the entire social media guide. And section number 5, we're going to be going over our typical content calendar that we give to all of our clients to show them how we post going forward over the next month. They get a new one every 3 weeks, and they'll see what's happening in the next month, so they can be aware of what we're posting on all of the various social media accounts, depending on which ones they want us to focus on. We also have a copy of that calendar if you'd like to use it going forward. The choice is up to you. So you can see in section 1, we are asking you to define the audience you want to reach. We do this with every single one of our new clientele. And what we're doing is we're trying to identify the 3 market areas or the 3 personality types or avatars that we want to reach with our marketing efforts, right? We also ask for some additional information below that. And you can see that, are you looking for high saleability? Are you looking for luxury types of neighborhoods? Are you looking for certain personality types? What is it that you're trying to look for in your next customer? And in the final section, you'll see that we're asking you to define your ideal customer. We want you to be as detailed as humanly possible. This is almost a way to kind of manifest the type of client you're looking for going into the future. Are they a luxury buyer? Are they looking to sell a home? What are they looking to do? Be as specific as possible. The more detail that you provide, the easier it is for a marketer like myself or you to find exactly who you're looking for and work with them in the future. Do not skip on the details. So after you have defined your ideal customer, we want to take a step back and we want to reflect what we're doing back onto ourselves. So I need you to look at yourself and to look at your own business, your own life, and answer the following questions. The first question, are you part of any groups, any networking groups, any social groups, any business groups, any lifestyle groups? Any type of groups that we can tap into and we can utilize. There's a lot of real estate agents out there that are part of a PTA for their kids. They're part of government councils. They're part of clearly a lot of business related networking events. We want to define all of the different characteristics that you have in your own life and how we could potentially use those over the long run. So I always ask our clientele to list out any groups and any things that they belong to. It gives us a better idea of what they're looking for and who they can really work with easily and quickly. The final parts of this section is looking at some of the skills that you have, some of the hobbies that you enjoy, and some of the overall talents you might possess that might actually help you connect with people on a specific and deeper level. Right? So I want you to think about it. Are you a musician? Are you creative? Are you an athlete? Are you a singer? Are you a cook? Are you a comic book nerd? Are you a movie buff? Are you a audiophile? Who are you? The more that we can describe about ourselves and our specific nature, the easier it is to relate to other people. And then relating to other people is kind of part of the game when we're creating content online that's going to apply to more than just other real estate agents. If we are constantly talking about real estate content, we are missing the mark. So this is some ways where we can start getting the brain trust going, getting into what we really need to showcase about you for your clientele to actually understand you, like you, and trust you, aside from all of the real estate stuff. This is the personal side. This is the side that's going to actually connect you to other people. And you'll tell that by the very last question we have on here. Are there any advantages that your background offers to your future clientele? Take a minute, think about that, and answer it appropriately. Section number 2 is all about suggesting what kind of content to post, how often to post, when to post, and on what platforms to post whenever you're watching this video. I would hope that we'd update it within a year, but it could change tomorrow. We don't really know. So remember, these are suggestions. And the idea is that if we're more available for our potential customers, we're more likely to get a sale from them in the future and connect with them in between. So we have it broken down into Facebook Personal, Facebook Business, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Those are the 5 biggest platforms that we're seeing a lot of activity on. And we believe those are the 5 biggest platforms that a real estate agent should be on. I'm sure that you can tell that your personal profile on Facebook gets a lot more action than your business page does. So we've taken a lot of effort to make sure that we're focusing more on the personal Facebook profile and less on the business page. The business page is great for its all purposes of advertising and kind of being a portal to a lot of other things. But our personal page is what we're going to use to mainly connect with people around us. That is where they're going to see a lot of our personal side, and it's going to be less businessy. So our plan covers both sides of that. And you'll see that we are heavily weighted on the personal side of things, where we're advising that you post once a day on your personal profile. And that can be anything. The good thing about Facebook is that all of this stuff is kind of up in the air. Clearly, we do believe that the algorithms are favoring a lot of video content, especially short form video content. So under 30 seconds, period, end of story. But you still see a lot of links that are used and clicked on. You still see a lot of single images that are used. There's carousels that are used, photo albums, etc. The good thing about the personal profile is that there is a lot of ways that you can post on there, a lot of different types of content that you can utilize on your daily actions, right? We also really put a focus onto stories. So doing the every 24-hour ephemeral type of content, all of that's in a vertical kind of format. The good thing too with stories is that you can actually use your posts from the previous day, share them to your story, and get some more legs out of them in the future. Right? So you don't have to create brand new stories every single day and multiple times, because you can see we're telling you to post multiple times a day for stories. The idea is that you are capturing your own life and you're capturing the lens that which people are seeing you. Now, with your Facebook business page, we really recommend that you're posting only 3 to 4 times a week. Your Facebook business page is a great place for that hard real estate type of content. It's also a great place for you to have any changes going on with any listings you have. So have they sold? Has the price been reduced? Any buyers that you're getting? Is anything under contract? That's what you want to put onto your Facebook business page, right? You want to keep your personal to be kind of a mix of everything, and especially on the humor side, on the entertaining side, on the funny side. And you really want your business page to be your business page, right? It can mix in a lot of those other personality traits that you possess, but the idea is that your business page is kind of just reserved for business, and that's it. We have to translate with both things, though. That's the only way that things are going to work. So we definitely suggest that your personal profile does share over some of those updates that you place on your business page. And you can do that easily through a couple clicks on the app. You can also have some triggers that set up to kind of share automatically. But we typically tell people that it's better to just do it manually. So taking that time during your day where you are posting, use that as part of your time. So if you're posting 3 times a day, then that at least one of those times a day, you're going to share some stuff over from your business page to your personal page. And again, if it gets eyes, it gets eyes. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's there to just be a friendly reminder that you are still working, you're still producing listings, you're still bringing buyers out there, and you're getting the job done, right? Also, another great place for testimonials. The next 2 biggest hitters on here is Instagram and TikTok. I'm not going to go too far into how these have changed marketing, because they've changed pretty much every aspect of marketing, especially with short form vertical video, like mainly through TikTok and then over to Instagram and even over to Facebook business. So our suggestions for Instagram are pretty much the same as your Facebook personal profile. We definitely suggest that you share 4+ stories per day, right? So keeping kind of an idea of how your day is going. What are some of the things happening inside of your day? Use that to share some other people's content as well, or some local things happening, or what have you. You kind of have free reign with that, and you don't have to create every single thing that you're sharing in your stories. Remember, you don't have to create every single thing in your stories over and over and over again. You can use that as a way to reshare from other people, maybe some good news in your neighborhood. Maybe there's some local events going on. Maybe it's just something funny from someone else. You just want to use that as a platform to kind of connect on a deeper level with multiple messages throughout one day. Now, The biggest question in the room is about Reels. So the short form vertical videos. There are 1,001 gurus on there that teach you how to get your Reels viral. I don't necessarily know if all of them are as effective as they say. There is a strong component for trending audio. There's a strong component for having really intense hooks. So how do you rope someone in with the comments? How do you rope someone in with your caption? How do you rope someone in with the visuals? There is a high bar for entertainment. So the more entertaining that you are on your Reels, the better your Reels typically do. There's a lot of complexities to Reels. And of course, we're going to be doing a separate Reels class, and we'll have a lot of other things provided for you in the future for just that alone. But for right now, I want you to just think about what are some topics that you can talk about? What are some things that you can share that are funny? What are some hooks that you can create? What are some ways that you can actually showcase you as the business owner and as the person in videos that are 15 seconds or less? And then a lot of the way that Reels are going today in 7 seconds or less. So what are some setups that we can do? And you can see a lot of the female realtors out there, they really do focus a lot of their fashion. They focus a lot on what's going on in the world around them. They focus on a lot of these things that are applicable to other females, right? Because it makes sense. You're going to really connect because of what the fashion choices are. And then you're going to see the deeper messaging behind that, right? You're going to hear the real estate tip that's buried in the caption of the post, but really it's just showing what that person's wearing that day. And that's something that other people want, and they really think it looks great on them. That's what we're doing to connect these bridges and to build connections between people. TikTok is similar. There is a lot of trending that happens on TikTok. And again, I mean, this is a high bar for creativity. So if you are a highly creative person, the sky is the limit when it comes to TikTok and Instagram and short form video. If you're not that creative, the idea is that you just want to be present. You want to be on there. You want to engage. You want to talk to other people. You want to really like their stuff. You want to be friends with other people on there. You want to find your neighbors on TikTok. You really just want to make it a community, right? That is the number one thing that you could do. You could always just treat it like a community, even if you're not creatively inclined, if you're not going out there and really kind of pushing the envelope in terms of your creativity and in terms of your video work. Right. So TikTok, I absolutely suggest that everyone should be on as well. But again, it's just very similar to the Instagram Reels. The last thing is I work with a lot of ex-corporate employees, whether they were executive, non-executive, et cetera. A lot of them have leveraged LinkedIn in the past. So they still have a whole bunch of people who are wrapped up in that. And again, if you're looking for luxury clientele, there are a lot of luxury clientele who are only on LinkedIn because they're kind of done with a lot of the stuff that's happening, especially on TikTok, on Instagram. They might still be on Facebook, but you're just finding a different category of people on there. The idea with LinkedIn is that it does just stay professional. So it is very easy to create content that is kind of boring if you're just explaining things and you're doing it in under 30 seconds. It's just a quick, easy shot, a quick, easy video, a quick, easy graphic, a quick, easy blog post, something that's simple, that's also digestible and would be palatable to someone who more or less has a higher level of income and doesn't want all of the frills of creativity that's around it, right? There's plenty of time that they're going to look to be entertained, and they might look onto social media and other platforms. But if we're only talking about LinkedIn, a lot of the people on there are strictly about business, right? About personal growth, about business growth, about challenging themselves, things like that. So stick within that wheelhouse and you'll see that we're telling you that you should be posting 3 to 4 times a week. You should really utilize a lot of their links. You should really utilize some of their new video features. There's a whole system that you can use inside of LinkedIn. And if you have any questions about LinkedIn, feel free to reach out to us and we can answer all of your questions and talk about what has worked for some of our past clients. At the last part of this section, you'll see that you can circle whatever types of platforms you really focus on. We're just looking to focus on things that are going to be highest yielding in terms of results. So if you are really creatively inclined, then I would probably suggest Instagram and TikTok as your number 1 and 2, right? If you have a lot of past business acumen built into all of your profiles, then maybe you want to stick onto just Facebook and onto LinkedIn, right? The choice is up to you. We just want you to take a minute and get an idea of who you're looking for and refer back to that first section and try to imagine where you think those people would show off and try to imagine where you would think those people would show up on social media. Try to be present there. Section number 3. This is the type of content that we like to create for all of our clientele. And these are some of the suggestions for you. Now, again, this is less than 20 suggestions, right? There needs to be a suggestion for nearly every day of the year. So we're looking really for 350 ideas over the course of a whole year. We break our content into what we call pillar, spiller, and filler content. Our pillar content is going to be the main content that we're creating over the course of a month. So this would be the stuff that we're going and batching our filming with our clientele. And you can see on here too, a lot of things that work is when you are out in the field. So one of the pillar contents that we're talking about right here is going out and being in the neighborhoods that you want to focus on. So those 3 neighborhoods from the first section, try to think of some pillar content that's only focusing around the neighborhood. So go to all of the events that are happening in those neighborhoods. Be part of that overall arching plan and idea and kind of concept in that neighborhood. If you are constantly ingrained in all these posts that are about this one neighborhood, you will inevitably become associated with that specific neighborhood. So even if you don't live in it right now, the idea is that if you assert yourself into it and you become part of it, you will become synonymous with the neighborhood. And that's going to help your overall chances of getting people working with them in that neighborhood or those specific types of clientele that you're looking for who reside in the neighborhood. Maybe it's a luxury neighborhood. Our spiller content idea is more of kind of a behind the scenes kind of look on everything. What's our personal take on some of the things happening inside of real estate? So maybe a spiller type of content is not the buyer tip for someone. Maybe it's a buyer beware type of video. So we're explaining how doing one thing wrong, buying a car right before you close can screw up your entire closing. Like those are our spiller types of content. You're kind of revealing what's happening behind the scenes. You're talking about some things that could go wrong. You're being entertaining with it as well. The idea is that you're not just saying, here's the facts. This is what you need to do. You need to trust me in these specific ways. This is what I'm going to offer to you. These are 3 ways that you can help buy a new house in 2024. You're getting aside from that, right? You want to focus on with the spiller content. You really want to pay attention to a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. You want to pull the layers off, right? That's the idea with spiller content. And you can see with the examples that are on the page, you can see that there's some. And our last section is the filler section. And you can see there's way more pieces of filler content that happen throughout a month than there are in any other category. With some of the filler content, this is stuff that's just kind of simple, right? It's simple, it's easy to create, it's easy to understand, and it doesn't really drive the needle in terms of people using you, but it fills in the gaps for building trust, increasing your likability, really kind of just being out there regularly. And this is where some of the classic stuff that you already do show up on there. So some of like the testimonials, so the graphic testimonials with the client on there, those show up in there. Some of your just closed photos with your buyers, those show up on there. Some of the basic kind of stuff like local community events show up on there. Now, if you're also doing like a market update, that would clearly be a type of filler content because market updates they're great, but they don't really do anything for anyone. They're not really explaining anything, especially when multiple agents are doing them. It's not really that big of a deal. The only time that market updates really have a lot of weight is if something tremendous has happened, right? So the first market update that happens after interest rates go up substantially is going to have impact on people. But if we've been going up and up and up and up and up on interest rates, the 5th time that our interest rates have gone up, how much does that actually matter to the consumers on the other end, right? They've heard this before. They understand that it's going. This is not groundbreaking news to them. This is not something new. They're already aware of it. Market updates are a lot like that. Market updates by themselves offer nothing, almost zero value to any consumer because it doesn't really matter to them. They still are only focused on that one specific home that they want to purchase or the home that they are currently getting rid of. And the market update could be great, but if it doesn't directly inform their price, and of course, that's with the specific things happening inside that home and neighborhood and street, it has to be almost micronized and not just a large over broad view of a neighborhood. So market updates are great, but they're not anything more than just filler content. I hope some of those examples help you. The idea is that on the next page, you do have some blank slate. So you can really, on the next page, you have a lot of blank slate. So you're able to just write in some of your ideas. You can use that however you want. You can throw in the trash if you want to as well. But it's giving you a structure and a framework to build some of these ideas off of. So you can really, especially, create some better videos going into the next section, which is section number 4. And that's our comprehensive video plan. So if you haven't noticed, video marketing is here to stay. It has been here for a few years for real estate agents, but as of right now, 2023, going into 2024, it is basically mandatory to find success in the future. We have to film video. Video can be used in so many different ways. It's crazy, actually, how many different ways it can be used. I've gone through a lot of different touches throughout this last couple minutes talking about what types of videos you can create, what types of long form content you can create, what types of short form content you can create. And this overall plan is to give you a real true understanding of what it takes to create those videos and to kind of give you a jumping off point so you could film either your own video content or be prepared for whenever you hire a videographer like myself or someone else who's going to film that video content for you. We have 5 subsections of this 4th section, and we're going to be going over them right now. Number 1, we're going to be defining. Number 1, we wanted to find the purpose of these videos. So why are we creating these videos? Are we creating them for a specific clientele? Are they there just for a background section on a YouTube page? Is it for a website? Is it for a marketing campaign, like an email campaign or a blast? Is it for a monthly campaign? Is it to help get people to use your services? Why are we creating this? What is the purpose of this video or videos? Number 2, we want to identify some of the video topics and styles. So I always ask my clientele to give me a list, and sometimes that can just be them sharing videos with me on Instagram of who are some of the other agents in their market area or outside of their market area that they really want to emulate, whether it's the style of video, the way it's shot, how the editing's done, is it fast-paced, is it long-paced, how is it? How does it look? What's the feel of it? What's the vibe that's coming from it? That's number 2. And also identifying some of the topics that we're going to discuss. Number 3, that's where we start breaking down whether we want to do things ourselves as real estate agents or we want to start hiring some professionals. So it's going to give you some ideas of like, okay, what kind of equipment do you need? What type of ideas do we need to generate? Do we have a budget for these things? What are we looking to do with these videos? What type of production level are we looking for? You're going to have some things that are professionally shot with someone, a videographer, and then you're going to have some things that it's just you picking up your cell phone and talking into it, right? Talking into your phone when you're sitting in the car or before and after an appointment. Just very short, simple videos to kind of give a little bit of behind the curtain looks for all of your consumers. Number 4, we're asking you to write a rough draft of some of your videos. So just a basic bullet point of one of your videos, just to get you in the habit of understanding what it does take to be able to do that. A lot of agents use ChatGPT to give them a structure of a video. Some agents do struggle with the teleprompter. Some agents want to just wing it, right? The idea is that if you use something like a ChatGPT to give you a foundational start, that's wonderful. But no matter what, that has to translate to you personally discussing it, right? If you're scripting it completely and you're reading off of a script, unless you are a true professional, it's just not going to sound like you. It is going to sound like you're reading off of a teleprompter. It's not going to sound like you're an actual professional who knows what they're doing, who knows how to discuss this topic, who just kind of knows how to go for it and really teach it to a lot of other people quickly through video. And with the writing the rough draft, and when you're writing the rough draft of this, you're going to ascertain a lot of the things that you need to get a clear picture of what it takes to create these videos, even from kind of the ground up. And lastly, the subsection number 5, we want to plan the distribution of this video. So cool, we have a video shot, it's finished, it's edited, you have it back from the videographer. But what is the plan to actually disperse it? Are we going through what we've decided in subsection number 1? Are we using it for an email campaign? Are we using it for YouTube? Are we using it for our website? How are we going to get that actual video shown to as many people as we possibly can and not just kind of have it sitting there like a lot of our other videos do? So number 5 is about planning the distribution of it and really coming up with kind of an advertising budget if that's something you want to do as well. especially with some of those high dollar pieces of content. If you're getting things professionally filmed, you should probably have a little bit of money to advertise it because it's going to look good, it's going to look professional, and it's going to get you in front of a lot of other people that you didn't think you'd get in front of before. Now, after you've wrapped up with section number 4 and you have this comprehensive video plan, the last part of our plan is coming up with a content calendar. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but actually on my board right over here, there is some of our rudimentary content calendars that we create on our initial pass of a client's content. Then we start breaking down the types of ideas for each thing. I do have a coded system behind me, so it's a little easier for me to create things because I've been doing it for long enough. But what we typically do is we have a Google spreadsheet that just breaks down all of the different platforms that you as the agent want to be on. So maybe that's Facebook personal page, Facebook business, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, etc. We also have a breakdown of what the topic of the content is. Maybe it's a holiday post. Maybe it's just one of the posts that we've created, one of the ideas that's been generated in this guide. We also have some links. So if there's any necessary links built into that one specific piece of content on that one specific day, you'll see with the spreadsheet that there's a lot of options. I mean, you have a lot of options to create a whole bunch of content and really have things kind of make sense, especially with some color coding, et cetera. So even if you don't have a content calendar that's as descriptive as what we use in our professional use, you could use something just rudimentary. Just create something that looks similar to the content examples, which is like the pillar, filler, and spiller content, and create just an idea of like, listen, on January 1st, this is what I want to say. This is the type of thing that I want to put out there. So I want to say Happy New Year in a video that's used as a reel. So that's maybe you just picking up your cell phone saying, Happy New Year to everyone. Really looking forward to working with any new buyers coming out in the market in 2024. It's looking to be a great year for real estate for these number of ways. Thank you all so much for your support over the last year, right? That's a simple video that you can have for day number 1. And maybe day number 2 is completely different. And day number 3 is completely different. And maybe day number 4 is just you posting pictures of your kids and being grateful for your kids, talking about what that means for your business, what it means for your life. How do you look at life now through having kids? And if you have any other questions, just reach out just to us directly, and we can explain all of the different pieces and parts of this guide and help you along the way, no matter where you're living, whether you're inside Pittsburgh, outside Pittsburgh, in a completely different state other than Pennsylvania. We will be happy to help you with your social media plan going into 2024. Thank you so much from 5 Rings Creative. I'm Vinny Salvano. I've been with you today. And again, think about the momentum that you have with your marketing going into 2024. Keep marketing. Do not stop marketing. Market every day.